Hello friends, welcome back to Papers Francesca. Of course, I'm Francesca and these are my books. I know I'm probably not a newbie now over here on YouTube, but I thought it's probably never too late to do the Book Talk newbie tag. I saw Shelby do this video, who I follow over on Bookstagram and Book Talk as well, and I just thought, I want a bit of that. So I'm gonna answer the Book Talk newbie tag questions so you guys can get to know me and like what my channel's about, everything like that. And then also I've got some questions on Instagram over on my Bookstagram that you guys have asked me as well that I'm gonna answer in this video. So without further ado, well, let me get the questions. So why did I start this channel? I already have a following over on Book Talk and Bookstagram. I post over there pretty much daily, so it kind of just made sense to come on Booktube and just not be confined to like shorter videos and just like actually just chat books in my comfy chair with all my books that are surrounding me. I made this channel a couple of years ago now, but until this point I've kind of mainly posted YouTube shorts, just like my TikTok and video that I've made, just like funny trending stuff. So they are over on my shorts if you do want to check them out. But now I'm just so excited to actually get into like vlogs and like top 10s and everything that's a bit more exciting. When did you start reading? So I actually wasn't one of those people in high school that was just like quite introverted and read loads of books and was really good at English. I actually didn't start reading until I was an adult. So of course in school, like I studied English and I did read books like for class and stuff, but I was never interested like outside of that. And then like quite a few people I know, lockdown came and everybody was kind of trying to look for new hobbies, and I thought I would pick up a few books that I'd bought over the years and just try them, and it went from there. But even that was kind of towards the end of lockdown, I think, but once that got hold of me, I've just not stopped reading since, basically. So the next question is, what are my favourite genres? So I actually came into reading into the thriller genre, and I've kind of not really deviated since then. So I think because I started reading thrillers, the books that I read at the beginning were like absolutely incredible, but then the more I've read, the more like I can just spot patterns, and it takes a lot more in that genre now to impress me. So because of that, I have deviated a little bit over to like romance and fantasy, but nothing really has taken a hold of me. I read romance books quite a bit as like palate cleansers, so maybe every 5 or 6 thriller books I'll read like a romance book and or fantasy book to just like cleanse the palette, because thrillers can get quite repetitive. But yeah, I am a thriller girly through and through. Favourite books. Okay, so my favourite book of all time is The Silent Patient. If you follow me anywhere else, you will know that is no surprise. However, I do have this feeling that if I reread that book now, like 2 years later, I'm not sure I would like it as much. I think because I was at the start of my reading journey when I first read that book, it holds such a special place in my heart because like it was that shocking. But I think if I read it now, I don't know, and I'm kind of scared to reread it. All the books that deserve a mention are definitely What Lies Between Us by John Mars. That book I did read a lot more recently and absolutely blew me away. Another one is Hidden Pictures by Jason McCurlack. I love that that one has like the horror element and like a tiny romance subplot as well. So it's not just a thriller book, it's just like everything in one. And a couple of other mentions are The Only One Left by Riley Sager and The Last Passenger by Will Dean. Yeah, I just can't really fault any of those books. Like no matter what genre you like, you will have a good time with those. Like I can literally 100% guarantee it. The next question is, what do I read on? I started my journey as a paperback girly through and through. Last Christmas I got a Kindle, and I probably say I read now like 50-50. 50% paperback, 50% on my Kindle. I think it's just a bit of a convenience thing, and also just changing it up. So when I'm bored of like sitting with the light on at bedtime, I will switch to a Kindle book, and then it's just, yeah, it's just easier. It just kind of changes things up. Like obviously reading so much, it's like the key is to just not get bored with it. So the Kindle I have is the Kindle Paperwhite, and I think it's the 2021 version, even though I got it in 2022. I think that's how it works. I do have Kindle Unlimited as well, which I'm not sure I'm going to keep subscribing to. Let me know if you think I should, because I read books on Kindle Unlimited, but maybe like 1 or 2 a month. So I'm thinking if it's £9 a month and I only read one, I've spent £9 on a Kindle book. Even if I read 2, I spent £4.50 on a Kindle book. So I think I would be better off just buying them when they go down to 99p. But anyway, that's a story for another time. The one thing I definitely don't do is read hardbacks. I have a few. I've probably read 2 in my whole life. I would literally only read a hardback if I was absolutely desperate, because why would you read a hardback when you can read on Kindle? It's so much nicer. Next one is what's unique about my channel. So I think that I genuinely do give recommendations based on what I think, and I'm not afraid to say like I didn't like this book. I feel like a lot of creators are, because they don't want to upset the author, which I completely get. I would never tag an author in a review that was average or below, because I just think they've spent so much time on their work and then you're reading it in like 24, 48 hours just to go, no. But I will say in a safe space if I didn't like a book, 100%. And as well, I think a lot of people read fantasy and romance, like actual thriller through and through Booktube channels are quite few and far between. I've tried to find some and I can't. So if you actually have any good recommendations, please let me know, because I struggle for booktube content creators that are in the thriller space. Next question is, where do I read? So here is a very popular choice. I recently bought this lovely armchair that actually spins, and it also has a little footstool as well, and it reclines. So I mean, what more could you want? I also do read quite a bit in coffee shops. I am a bit of a lone wolf, but I do really enjoy going to a coffee shop on my own, of course, just to sit and just take that time and just kind of be around people, but not. And I feel like the coffee shop is one of the only places where you can drown out the sound so you can actually concentrate on your book, because if I try and read while my partner's watching TV and we're sat in the same room, I find that really difficult. It's really bizarre though, because if there's football on, it's easier for me to not tune in, but if he's watching a show or something, or a film, I literally find it virtually impossible. So the next question is, why do you love reading? And I just think it gives this level of escapism that you just can't get anywhere else. I think a lot of people don't understand the difference between reading and watching something in terms of how incredible that you can make it in your own head. And I think this is why TV shows and films just never live up to the same expectation, because you have literally taken a story and made it exactly how you want in your brain. Whereas if you're watching it, the work's done for you, like you're only seeing somebody else's vision of it. Reading is the highest form of escapism. That is the end of the Booktube newbie tag questions. But as I say, I've put a little poll on my Instagram, so I'm gonna have a look now and see if we can answer some more quickly. I've not actually looked at these yet, so I hope they are good. So the first one, if you were stuck on an island and could only take one book, what book would you take? That is such a difficult question. I think I would have to take a book on the longer side, so that I could get lost in it more than a shorter book. Okay, I've got it. I'd have to take something that's quite profound and that would give me a sense of hope. So what I would take is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch, because that book just like changed my mindset on everything. I was like, there is no way we are alone in the world. There is no way that there's not more to life. So I think that would be a good, obviously it's fiction, but I think that would be a good book to reflect with if I was trapped. So the next one is, which book gave you the best plot twist of all time? Like literally ever. That's what the question says. There is a few really good plot twists I've read. The first one that springs to mind is Hidden Pictures, and literally if you know, you know. I think that's the only one that was wacky enough that you just couldn't, there's just no way you would get it. Another one that springs to mind as well is The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager, because that took the book into like a whole new space. But if you guess either of them, message me, because I want to know how. And the last question is this your main job? So for the longest time, I was trying to make this my main job. And in the summer of 2023, I managed to go full-time content creating, which is just the most incredible and surreal thing still to even say. Yeah, so this is my full-time job. I have always worked in marketing, so I feel like that's why the transition was quite smooth. I have like 7 or 8 years marketing experience, so kind of social media marketing came really naturally to me. But this was of course not a professional project in any way. This has just been like the most incredible like result of all of that work, I guess, over the years in a personal space. I literally one day started a BookTok account first, and I posted a couple of videos not really expecting anything to happen. I hadn't even had a TikTok account before my BookTok account. I'd never used it like personally. I think I posted like 3 or 4 videos, and one of them got like 500,000 views, and that was kind of like first few attempts when I still didn't even really know the space. So I thought, maybe this has legs. So I really kept at it, and then yeah, one day it just kind of snowballed from there. So of course Bookstagram and Booktube came next, and it's just opened up so many more opportunities, and it's just the most incredible job in the world. Like, I don't even call it a job, because even though it is, it just doesn't feel like it. I mean, this life is just, you just can't ask for any more. And it's also allowed me to go traveling and take my work with me for a couple of months. I just can't fault it. But I also know how lucky I am to have this opportunity, because a lot of people try for this kind of life to make enough money from it to sustain it full time, and for a lot of people it's not possible because of X, Y, and Z. So I do feel very grateful and very fortunate. So I hope you enjoyed the Booktube newbie tag. I cannot wait to share more book recommendations on here with you. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.